No. Well, I'm not acquainted with the chess life of computers. And my question is, well, is there any, let's say, the strongest computer? Is there any other computer of, that this champion is afraid to play with? Yeah, I don't know. There is, in the human chess, the problem of unpleasant opponent, this problem arises all the time. In my life, one of the most unpleasant partners for me was Paul Keres. I lost to him the very first game. He won a splendid game in 24 moves. And from that time, the first game I lost in 1952. And from that time, I had tremendous problems. I even hardly could achieve an equal game with white against him. As to me, there were several people who considered me an unpleasant opponent. First of all, Mikhail Tal and several others. And also one well-known chess player from Holland, John van der Wiel. He annotated the game, which he lost to me in the year 1991. And in the game in the annotation he called me the Angstgegner. Well, it is a German word. I know two other words in English. The Englishmen use the word bête noire, actually from the French language, black animal. Yeah. And the other word is nemesis. Both words have a very, very strong, background. It is something very, very unpleasant when even hearing these words. Okay, and the following game had been played in the year 1991, and that was not the end of our pleasant for me relationship with John van der Wiel. Later, I played with him with about the same success. But never mind. Let's look what happened in this game. It is the French what I play, and sometimes time ago I played always bishop before here, and for a long time. And then one day I decided to enlarge my opening repertoire, and instead of bishop before, started to play knight f6. So bishop g5, another line is e4, e5 at once. Yeah. Bishop g5, bishop e7, e5, knight d7, bishop takes e7. There's also the move h4 here, so-called Chatard attack. But some people believe that even after bishop, it is unpleasant for black, but some people believe that even after taking on e7, white has a better game. So they don't care, to learn something else. Bishop takes e7, takes. Yeah, f4, castles, queen d2, c5, knight f3, knight c6. Here, mostly here people take on c5 and knight takes c5. and knight takes c5, and then white makes castle or prepares castle to the king side, and black is playing f7 a6, f7 f6, and what one can say, black stands worse. Black experiences shortage of space and also weaknesses of the black squares all over their location. So it is well, another line, and well, in the game, castle had been played, and again, normal, the old continuation is f7 f6 here. Yeah. Well, but time ago, about well, around the 1984, I played some tournament, and and during the tournament I developed a new line, and so the new line, the peculiarity of the new line that I play, well, whenever white will take with the queen white will take on c5, black will recapture with the queen on c5 and develop his knight either to b6 and c4 or somewhere else, but normally to b6. Well, in order to get some initiative on the queen side. So knight b6 had been played. Well, you see, the position, the type of the position is more or less known. And so, say, eventually a sacrifice on h7 is threatening. Sacrifice, then knight g5, then queen d3, and, with a strong and sometimes irresistible attack. What to do? Well, if h6, this will enable to open files against the king. White will play g4, g5, and then rook g1. That is very unpleasant. So there is another line, by the way. There is a move knight c4. What is playable? The point is that he never cannot. He has no time to take on h7 because of queen e3 check one day. So practically, and also, queen is hanging, and queen b4 is a threat. So he must take on c4. Then queen takes c4. And then what one can say? It is, white has the square d4, and white stands better. Well, how much better is another story, because, in my book on my best games, I give one game which I won with black in spite of this white's advantage. I won with black, having developed attack against the king of white. But this is playable. Again, if not, if pretend that nothing is threatening, so black is playing bishop d7. Having good nerves, he can, he hopes to repel the attack if it will happen. So now, one of the moves which had been played is king b1, and then black is playing rook fc8. Somehow, in a way, just making himself secure that bishop takes h7 does not work. Yeah, because the king has ways to retreat from the danger zone. Yeah, this is so. And here, for example, I played the game, and somebody played just knight b5 here, and then knight d6, and somebody. It was the game against Sachs. Yeah, and soon afterwards we agreed to draw. And my opponent, who certainly has a fear of me, but he believes that he has to do his best. Well, he's not bad in the attack if it happens. So he produces a novelty. And novelty is bishop takes h7. Again, it is not very original. It happened many times in the chess history, but the position is a little bit different, and black has certain ways to fight against the attack. So the first move is more or less obvious. Rook has to go. And now looks as very strange move. The point is that now if queen h8, what looks as the most reasonable, then king e7, queen takes g7, queen e3 check, king b1, queen takes f4, rook f1, rook g8. Well, and black is okay. Well, black stands better here. Yeah. So the next move is not typical for an attacking player, but again, it is mobilization of all pieces. Yeah. Yeah, it's again. Well, the threat is knight. Not only queen takes f4, but also knight c4. A very strong move. Yeah, so he must undertake something immediately. Exclamation. This is a real exclamation. You know, he protected the square and the pawn f4. And he threatens, with many things, like knight takes c6 check, and knight c4 hardly works because of knight takes c6. And at the same time, rook h8 looks bad because of knight h7 check. And again, after king e8 is the only move. He will wait. Well, one day he will. No, knight f6 check is, I think, is winning already. Knight f6 check, and after king e7, knight f6 to d5 double check, mating. So in this position, one has to have good nerves with black as well. And I played king d8. Not being, to say that I'm not afraid of a double check, it is, it sounds wrong. I am afraid, but this is the only way to play. Now another best move. Well, he must not forget about the threat knight d5. well, not the threat knight c4. I'm sorry. Yeah. So he has to play. He has to play a3 first. A new exclamation mark. Then the only move is this. Now, well, if he takes on e7, knight takes e7, and knight takes g7, then rook g8 with advantage to black. So he plays again the best move. Now, well, now knight takes d5 is threatening, and also knight b5, knight d6 is very annoying. So my next move, well, whether I like it or not, I believe, well, I have to somehow to reduce or to relieve tension in the center. Well, let's say, well, even giving up one pawn or more, but just I have to eliminate the pawn e5. That is necessary, and so I played f6. And well, now a few words. Well, why I was so successful playing Van der Wiel? First I have noticed that he doesn't like to move along theoretical path. He likes to try his own ways. Well, not only because he doesn't like to memorize well what the theorist says, but also he likes to be extremely original. Well, original. It is his way to play, not anybody's. So I played f6. So I expect him to take on f6. Never mind. He will not play it. So he played a bad move, e6 instead. Well, now he analyzes. Pawn takes f6. Analyzes after the game. So it comes. Well, he gives the following line. And now, I think knight takes d5. Yeah? And I think bishop d7 is the best. It is, by the way, it is not the move which he found. I suggested it after the game. So he must check. Now after knight d8, well, he still has strong pressure. It is possible, but I suggested something else. I suggested king c7. Now he must take. Now check. Now if king b1, king b1 is losing because queen f1 check, king a2, queen c4 taking the rook. So he must play rook d2. And now queen takes g5, and now queen f8. And, well, it was my variation, not his. And he says that here white has the edge, or big edge. White stands a little bit better, correct, yeah. Well, after, I don't know, queen e5 or knight e7, this It's a little bit better, but not too dangerous. Okay, so that is exactly what he had to play. Instead, he makes, well, his own original move. Well, black has to complete development of the pieces. So I played, well, I can play king c7 because of knight b5 check. I played a6. Just a moment. Yeah, I took and played a6. Yeah, and well, he had to play now with rook to d1 in order to win the third pawn. After d5, d4, knight e2 would follow, and he would capture the pawn d. And after that, he would have had 3 pawns for a piece, and with about equal chances. Well, instead, he played a dubious move. And now soon black will complete his development and will start to, well, with his own assault. Well, looks not very solid, but black have to play, yeah, this way. Now, when he takes on g7, then well, that actually happened. Well, the threat is there are several threats. Knight c4, queen e2, well, many. So he has no time to promote the pawn to a fate. And now threatening with knight to d4. And now knight c4. Resigned. Well, the threat is rook takes d1. And, well, there is no defense. Well, that is the game. Well, just, if you like, psychological explanation, I will repeat. I have exploited, strive to originality of my opponent, and won one more game. So at the moment when I won this game, I had, I think, +8 against him, and then a year later I won one more game. That's how it happens.